Ideal for use at base camp, campgrounds, or even tailgating, the Eureka Spire camping stove will let you get full cooking versatility when you're outdoors without access to a full kitchen. Let's take a look at some of its features and its design and what makes it so special. I've got the Spire camping stove set up here, and the first thing we can see is that the surface is large and it is well protected. So as soon as you open up the system, you've got these two kind of wind guards on the sides, and this whole top lid acts as protection on the back side. So really great wind protection for the whole stove system. We've got two burner heads on the stove, so two really nice little burner heads. Eureka and Jetboil are sister companies, so these burners are built with Jetboil technology, so really efficient heat distribution and overall cooking with those stove burner heads. The grate is really large. You can fit an 8-inch pan and a 10-inch pan side by side on this surface and cook on both burners with those, or if you wanted to, you could use a larger skillet. That base tray is a stainless steel drip tray. Really easy to clean, it's a really smooth surface, and that grate just lifts off for easy cleaning. So when you're ready to clean up the stove and put it away, you can just grab this grate and lift it right off. Obviously you wanna make sure it's not hot when you're grabbing it, but comes off really easily and allows you to clean that pan simply. And when you're putting it back on, there are 4 holes on each corner, or 1 hole on each corner, and it just nests nice and easily back down in those holes, so it gets a nice stable hold on the stove top. On the front of the stove system, we do have 2 valves, 1 per burner, and a push button igniter, so you've got really simple, easy ignition on the stove. Another cool benefit that Eureka incorporates with this stove is that there is a kind of leverage point on the underside of the stove, so sometimes when you push that button without grabbing onto something, it'll just push the whole stove across the table. There is kind of a handle on the underside of the system here that will allow you to get good leverage when you're going to ignite the stove, so it doesn't move all your contents all around. So a really smart design feature there. Those 2 valves can be adjusted to kind of adjust the heat that's coming out of the burners. Each burner will pump out up to 10,000 BTUs, so you get really good heat, really good cooking power from those burner heads. The fuel that's used for this stove is just simply propane. It does come with this fuel line on the side here. It is compatible with a 16.4 ounce propane bottle, so those standard kind of small fuel propane bottles that you'll find in most stores. You can get an accessory hose. It is sold separately that makes this system compatible with a 20-pound propane tank. Again, that's sold separately, but it'll make sure that you don't ever run out of fuel if you're just using this stove at the campsite. Another really neat feature that comes from that Jetboil sister company partnership is the JetLink accessory port on this stove. So the JetLink accessory port allows you to use a JetLink accessory hose, which is sold separately, to link up multiple Eureka Spire stoves. It's compatible with the Spire and the Spire LX, and also the Jetboil Genesis stove. And what that allows you to do is essentially daisy chain the stoves together so you can link stove to stove and get a full cooking kitchen essentially in the backcountry or at the campground. And all of that comes from one fuel source. So if you're using multiple stoves, it might be wise to get that 20-pound propane tank just to make sure you don't run out of fuel, but it makes it really easy to cook your bacon and eggs on one stove, your pancakes on the next stove if you're doing breakfast, or anything in between. So a really convenient and smart system with that JetLink output. There are other accessories that are compatible with that JetLink accessory port, such as the Luna satellite burner. It is sold separately, but it adds a lot of versatility to your cooking system. A few things to mention on the outside of the stove. On the bottom, we do have rubber feet, and they are gonna give non-slip performance. So when you're cooking on a picnic table or something like that, you can make sure this thing stays put and doesn't move around while you're trying to cook your food. So smart design there, smart inclusion of those feet. And on the outside of the stove, there are kind of rubber bumpers on each corner, so you get protection when you're traveling or when you're storing the stove. It doesn't damage that metal housing. So again, Smart features there. Overall, a really well-designed stove that's simple but very efficient, with a lot of accessories that you can get to make this a full backcountry kitchen. It is the Eureka Spire camping stove.